This is an incredible wind-driven fire. The Eaton Fire started around 6:30 p.m. with just an estimated 20 acres. And the blaze, as you can see, it has quickly exploded into more than 200 acres, and it keeps growing.
We've never had a disaster on the scale of the Eaton Fire right in our own backyard. Given our news cycles, it's tragically easy for our hearts and minds to move on to the next catastrophe relatively quickly. In light of our close proximity to this disaster, LCPC is committed to being part of the recovery over the long term. And make no mistake, it's going to take years for the Altadena community to recover. LCPC's leadership quickly aligned on a plan to support ministries already on the ground, addressing the needs of the most economically vulnerable victims of this fire, long after the news crews and FEMA have departed. Door of Hope is one such ministry, serving homeless families in Pasadena for 40 years. Door of Hope's leader, ordained Presbyterian minister Megan Katerzian, along with her 2 young children, lost their home in the fire. Having served homeless families as executive director and now CEO for over 7 years, Megan already had deep knowledge of what it takes to empower unhoused families to transform their lives, spiritually, emotionally, and practically. Losing her own home added a whole new depth to that understanding. Within 2 weeks of the fire, the Door of Hope leadership team pivoted their vision and strategy in response to the crisis. Through prayer and collaboration, they immediately determined that 8 vacancies anticipated in their Pasadena transitional housing units would be reserved for families directly impacted by the fire. And they committed to helping an additional 50 very low-income families who lost their homes in the fire to find a sustainable housing solution. Door of Hope will use the tools they've developed over the past 40 years to help these families regain stability and minimize the risk of falling further into poverty and homelessness, all in the name of Christ. I'm happy to report that LCPC is already committed to partnering with Door of Hope by walking alongside at least one family as they transition into new housing, and perhaps more as our combined resources permit. It's likely to be several months before we are matched with a family or families, but in the meantime, there are other ways for you to join us in extending Christ's love to this community. One really important way is through your financial support. Through the upcoming Easter Sunday, all donations to LCPC's Fire Recovery Fund will be matched dollar for dollar up to $75,000 from a matching grant. Importantly, there is a use it or lose it element to this initiative. The full benefit of the match will only be available if we raise $75,000 from individual donations by Easter Sunday. If we fail to raise the full amount, the match will be reduced proportionately. All money contributed to the fund will be donated to local Christian-based organizations focused on the most economically vulnerable victims of the fire. To donate, use the QR code provided at the end of this video, or visit lcpc.net and just click on the drop-down menu under the Give tab, or make your check payable to LCPC with Eaton Fire in the memo line. And do stay tuned for information on service opportunities over the coming months. Besides walking alongside a Door of Hope family or families, providing housewarming supplies and move-in support, there will be opportunities to assist directly in cleanup. In fact, a couple of LCPC members already served this past week doing just this kind of work through Samaritan's Purse. Other opportunities to serve will be shared as ministries gear up to provide support to the community over the intermediate to long term. Thank you.